to episode 284 of Magic the Amateuring.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for people who play the game of Magic, whether you're new to the game, returning to the game, getting better at the game, or just want to have a real good time.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Foam Padding.
Wow, foam padding, huh?
Yeah.
That's nice. So you're made of foam padding, or you are foam padding?
I am.
You
yes.
are.
I am
foam
the
padding.
embodiment of foam padding.
Wow. Amazing. Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you.
You've been a part of several of my Halloween costumes.
I've been a part of everyone's Halloween costume in their heart.
On today's show, we're talking M19.
That's right. Magic 19 is just about here. The pre-release is this weekend.
Yay!
Then it'll be hitting standard and your weekly drafts the week after. We're certainly super excited.
I love pre-releases, and the core sets, they went away for a while, and now they're back.
They left us and they have returned.
The prodigal core set has returned to us.
Yes.
And you know what? Core sets are great.
Yeah, they are. They're a really great place to start teaching new people the game or introduce people to Magic. And we're even going to be talking a little bit about that specifically today.
And if you're heading to a pre-release this weekend, you don't want to go in blind. We've got Judge Rob here who will give you all the deets on crazy card interactions or rules you might want to have in your brain space before you go to your play space.
That's right. But before we get started, we have a couple of people to think about thinking.
I've got to think about a couple of people.
Let me think about a few people. And we're done.
Okay.
Let's move on. Thank people. First of all, those people who are patrons of the show, if you are a member at patreon.com/MTAcast, thank you so much for making what we do possible. If you're not yet a patron, consider heading on over there, patreon.com/MTAcast, and just chip in as little as $5 a month our way. That is cents per day, $1 and change per episode. And we really hope we're bringing at least that much joy into your lives.
Yeah, if you get something out of the show, for it helps you anyway, or just gives you a little tickle down in your laugh lungs, then consider heading on over and becoming a patron. Big thanks to everyone who joined the family since last episode. So thank you so much.
Thank you as well to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. cardkingdom.com/MTAcast. Go figure. Great place to get all of this sweet M19 swag.
I know.
If you want to be playing M19, if you want to order yourself a box, if you want to get some sleeves to sleeve up your draft deck or your sealed deck or your new standard deck, they're the place to go.
Yeah, if you want to even sell your cards that you open, if you're a limited player and you're like, hey, I want to sell these so I can get more Magic stuff.
I don't need these cards in my life, but I do need more sweet Magic boosters that are unopened.
Oh yeah, Card Kingdom is a place for you.
Oh yes.
Ooh. I'm done. It's time for the top 3 things you need to know in Magic this week. And for this segment, since Judge Rob is here, we figured we'd let him in on the fun.
Oh, what's up, Judge Rob?
Hi, Rob. How are you?
What did you learn in that notebook?
Some things about Magic, actually.
Oh, really? What did you learn?
I learned a lot of things about recent, it looked like Grand Prix that you've been doing coverage notes on.
Yes, that is very true.
I was like, who are you considering covering at different events?
Oh, yeah.
Writing up things about.
These are some people who have, I think, these ones are people who have gone undefeated on day one.
You had a bunch of notes, actually, from, it looked like Grand Prix Indianapolis, maybe in there?
Yeah.
It was a recent Team GP, and you talked about their team records and how they've done at recent team events.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one. Oh, that's from, I think that's from DC.
Oh, is it from DC? Okay,
I want to say that this is GPDC. Well, there you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that looks right.
Pretty cool. Okay, thing number 1 is the banned and restricted announcement.
Ooh, spooky.
Spooky on July 2nd. That's right. Earlier this week, Wizards announced what cards were going to be banned from formats. Maybe cards that were going to be unbanned in various formats.
Just a second. It's July 2nd. I need to pay my rent. Keep going.
Okay. Everyone remind Meghan she needs to pay her rent.
I need to pay my rent.
Okay.
Tweet at us with the hashtag Meghan's rent.
And the big, speculation was, are they going to ban Chain Whirler? Are they going to ban something like
Ancient Stirrings
and Modern?
Are they going to unban Stoneforge Mystic?
Well, guess what? None of those things happened.
The answer is none of them.
None of them.
What did happen?
In Legacy, they banned Deathrite Shaman, and they also banned Gitaxian Probe in Legacy.
How do you feel about that, Judge Rob?
I feel like it's the ban and restricted announcement explanation basically said, hey, we took the modern bans that we did for these cards and copy pasted the text. They're banning it for the same reason in Legacy.
All right.
Which is
that makes
fine
sense.
by me.
Yeah.
Dr. S was in almost every single Legacy deck, so I am fine with that card getting out of here.
Yeah.
It just was like, if you're playing a deck that's more than 2 colors, well, are you right? I don't know. If you're playing a deck, you're probably playing Deathrite Shaman.
Yep.
Yeah, or Dr. S.
Dr. S, as I like to call him.
The one-cost Planeswalker, as a lot of my friends would refer to him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got
absolutely
3 very good abilities.
3 relevant abilities and attacking if you have nothing better to do.
Yeah, and sometimes that is the case.
Everyone's graveyards are empty,
Yeah. All right.
and there's literally nothing else to do.
Let's just swing in.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the first piece of news there. So not much new. Thing number 2 is the Silver Showcase was announced. What exactly that is going to be at Pro Tour 25th anniversary.
That's right. There is going to be a special draft starting with Unlimited, correct? And it's unlimited. What are the other packs that they're opening?
They're opening Arabian Nights
Arabian Nights
and
Beta?
Legends.
Legends.
Oh, okay. So they're doing a crazy old style Magic draft with cards that are bad.
Yes.
Yes.
They're doing a Rochester draft, right?
Rochester, the same like from Vegas, where you can kind of look at the picks as they're being picked.
Yes.
And it's a showcase.
And it's 8 invited players, and 4 of them is pretty cool. Is like the all-time top points earners from their region.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet. So like obviously the U.S. is John Finkel.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously South America is Paulo Vitor Damo de Rosa. And I don't remember the other 2. So there's
Do we
that.
want to look?
Look it up, Rob. This is what you're here for. You're typing fingers. But the other 4 are some prominent streamers. So we've got the likes of Brian Kibler. We have Amaz, who's a Hearthstone streamer. We have David Williams, who's a poker pro and a master chef. And Stanislav Sivka, who is also a Hearthstone streamer.
Yes. And a winner of a Pro Tour. Wasn't he?
Oh,
Stanislav
probably.
Sivka?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Probably.
Win a Pro Tour, I mean.
So the reason we're mentioning this is...
Yeah.
Pro Tour Return to Ravnica.
He's infamous for the deck eggs.
Oh, yeah, eggs. That's true.
Yep.
Okay, so Rafael Levy is another player here.
Yeah, he's the top points earner from Europe.
I think he's also attended the most Pro Tours of anyone in history, if I remember
Wow.
right.
So you say.
Attending the most Pro Tours consecutively.
Wow.
Yeah, the first break was recently because he had his son.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
that's so
cute.
sweet.
And
then-
Shuhei Nakamura.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So those are going to be the players in the showcase. It garnered quite a bit of blowback on social media because of kind of the Hearthstone streamers that were invited to play. And the pool, the prize pool is $150,000.
Yeah.
So it was quite controversial.
Yes.
So we'll see.
To which we say, you know what they say about Brian Kibler. He definitely has no history in Magic.
So yeah, Silver Showcase at the Pro Tour is something else that you can check out if you like to see people open bags of money.
Oh, not unlimited. Limited edition beta.
Yeah, Unlimited was like an unset.
That's an unset, right? Is it?
No,
I don't know.
It's the same set as beta.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's just whiteboarded.
Okay.
And so there are four packs because Legend doesn't count because it's really bad and limited.
Wow. But they're opening it.
Yeah. How many common cards in Legends are capable of dealing damage in red? Including attacking.
2. Do you know the answer
Down.
to this? 0?
1.
1?
There's
Raging
wow.
Bull. It's
Wow.
a 2/2 for red and 2.
Okay.
Wow.
That
All right.
sounds
So
brutal.
Well, tune in to watch some sweet money get opened and some unplayable cards.
They are going to donate the cards to charity, though, which I think
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thing number 3 is U.S. Nationals happened this past weekend, and Meghan and I were there.
Yes, we were.
So the Nationals tournament qualifies you to be a member of the team, 3-person team for the U.S. representing us at the World Magic Cup later this year in Barcelona,
That's
Spain.
right. That's happening in December. We've talked before about how awesome the World Magic Cup
Oh,
is.
it's so
because
great.
it brings teams from literally all over the world to battle it out. And congrats to the U.S. national champion, the winner of that tournament, Dylan Brown.
Dylan Brown.
We watched a match that was seemingly endless.
Oh, yes, we
but
sure
he won
did.
at the end of it.
Blue-black mid-range was his deck of choice,
Yes.
and in the finals it faced off against an Esper control list.
Yes, and
Which
the
was
round
pretty
before
cool.
that, he was facing off against another blue-black mid-range,
Oh.
which was basically them just being like, like, I cast a Scarab God. I exile your Scarab God. And it's like, well, I cast my Scarab God. I exile your Scarab God.
If
And
you're
so on
into
and
that
so
kind of
forth.
thing, I don't understand, but you can go watch
You
it.
can go watch a heck of a lot of Magic get played.
And you know what? We have a newsletter, by the way.
Yes.
We should point this out.
Yes.
Because I was in the booth with none other than the man, the myth, the Maine himself, Reed Duke, and he...
What was the third thing you called him?
The Maine, his hair.
Oh.
And it's got nice hair. And we got to watch these control matchups, and he gave me a lot of interesting, good advice on playing control.
Wow.
And I'm not a control player, and I found this interesting, okay?
Yeah.
So that's saying something. And if you want to know what I learned from Reed Duke in the booth and some stuff from Andrew Brown from GP Pittsburgh, who is in the booth with me, you can subscribe to our newsletter and read all about it.
Head on over.
Yeah, Maria's Tales from the Road.
If you go to our website, which is now goodluckhighfive.com.
Yeah, you can go there. Or
magictheamateuring.com.
either one.
You can go to both of these places, but you'll get a little pop-up that's like, subscribe to our newsletter, and you put in your email, and you will get it.
You will get it.
And it's great.
Yeah, the GLHF website, by the way, is still kind of under construction, so
Yeah, we're working on that
don't
one.
judge
Okay.
me too harshly. But yeah, both will have a section that says sign up for a newsletter. Click on it and you'll be in. But yeah, those are our big 3 updates in Magic this week.
Yeah.
It's time for the M19 pre-release coming up this weekend. And Judge Rob, you have a message for people who might be either headed to their first one or might be surrounded by people who are playing their first pre-release, because core sets are, very good entry points, right?
Yeah. Core sets are fantastic entry points. One big thing, this set doesn't have any new mechanics.
What?
Every mechanic in it is one that's existed before.
What?
Which, I mean, that makes it look like something like a Master's Edition, which every card is reprinted, but this is...
Yeah.
This is about half reprints, give or take.
Yeah.
A bunch of cards that you've seen before, a bunch of cards that you haven't. And the thing that you'll notice a lot if you're paying attention is there's reminder text all over the place. So if you're used to playing without core sets have reminder text on basically everything. Do you want to know what
Nice.
flying does? Card will
It's
tell
on
you.
there.
Yep.
It's not just going to say flying, it's going to tell you what a flyer is.
Yep. And I'm excited for this because there's a lot of circumstances when you're at a game store and you're playing with somebody who hasn't played a bunch and you play something that has like menace. And like flying's intuitive. Creature flies, your dude can't block it. That makes sense. You don't need to really explain that very much.
I can't
Yeah.
hit a bird with my fist.
Exactly. But would it, menace.
Can't you?
Not when it's in the air.
Do you know what? I was just talking to, sorry, I'm very sorry, we're interrupting this.
That's fine.
I was just talking to someone yesterday, and I know that we've talked about this before. The time that Manu Ginobili slapped a bat out of the air
Oh, yeah.
in the middle of a basketball game.
Yeah.
That's all. So I'm just saying, can't you?
Okay, well, if he's playing Magic, his creatures can block
Okay.
creatures with
Manu
flying.
Ginobili
He probably
can
has
block
reach.
whatever he
Yeah.
wants
He has reach
with
on
whatever
everything.
he wants. All right, sorry.
Okay.
Keep going.
So there's going to be reminder text on all sorts of cards all over the place. The big ones, Menace, Death Touch, Trample, are weird mechanics. And a lot of times you'll be playing against a newer player and they don't want to admit that they don't know something.
Yeah.
Like if I go out into a specialized area, if I go start playing a new game and everybody seems really experienced, everybody's just like, hey, I know what I'm doing. I don't need any
I'm
explanation.
going to quasi for 10 and then cast my
Yeah.
Plink Plonker.
Yep.
Hit you for 33 trinks.
And oftentimes players will play just naming card names, not even explaining what cards do, laying out cards, playing really fast. Pre-releases are an opportunity to break away from that because you are very unlikely to know all of the cards just right off the top of your head. Mm-hmm. And the gold standard actually that I find for explaining to people that don't know what my cards do is the reminder text on cards like these.
Right.
So if you look at reminder text and say, yeah, that's really basic and it's easy to understand, I got it just from reading that. Try to explain your cards in a way that's that clear and basic to your opponent.
Nice.
That lets them know what's going on in the game.
Yeah.
Because the game is more fun when you don't, if you've ever played against a deck, like when you go into Modern and they're like, all right, I'm going to dredge 6 or 5 now because they banned Grave Troll again. But and they're like, yep, I'm going to dredge these cards on my upkeep, then I'm going to play another card that lets me do dredging instead of drawing, and I'm not going to explain anything. I'm going to do all this real
Yeah,
fast.
it's kind of off-putting a little bit.
Yeah. That completely out of your depth, I don't know what's going on. Doesn't happen to players that have been playing for a long time very much. But if you've been playing for a year or two and you've run into these decks that are out of your depth and you remember how much that felt, that's what people are feeling when they're first playing at these events. And so help them out, help them get through cards and read cards, help them. And when you run into these situations, ask your opponent to explain. A lot of people might not necessarily be good at explaining. And if they aren't, call for a judge, ask for some help. Somebody will help you out at the pre-release. Pre-release is a pretty open season for everybody, helping everybody play better Magic.
Yeah.
And by better, I mean more fun.
Do you know what? I still remember the first Modern GP I went to. I did not know anything about Modern.
Me either.
Someone handed me Boggles and was just like, go
Here you go.
and play. And somewhere around round 3, I've been losing all of my rounds. So, because I did not know what was happening. In round 3, I played against Splinter Twin combo, which was in the format at the time.
Yep.
And they like put it on and they're just do you know the combo? And I was like, no, I don't. Like, explain it to me. And they're just like, oh, I make I make this and it untaps this and I make 1 million of them and I attack you. And I was like, okay.
Same thing happened to me. Also piloting Boggles, my first Modern GP Kiki combo.
Yeah, and you're just like, what?
Oh, well, okay, sure.
Okay.
Also, pretty sure I let my creatures with Umbras on them die when they shouldn't have died to sweepers.
Absolutely.
100%.
I'm sure I did. I did everything wrong. I played against a mill deck that was just all targeting effects, and I did not sideboard in my Ley Lines of Sanctity. It was only after the match that I was
memories.
Like, wait a second.
That might have been good.
I think that I was supposed to do that.
So if you don't want somebody else to feel like that, consider being a nice human being at your pre-release.
And if you are out of your depth like that, everybody's felt that way at some point.
Absolutely.
I almost got in a fight really early on in my Magic career because...
Like a fist fight?
Yeah, my buddy was just like, attack you with this 0/1 like Frost Shade or something that has black to get +1/+1. And I said, no blocks, I'll take the damage. And he goes, all right, pump it 7 times. I'm like, but I said I'll take the damage and I'm gonna take 0. And he's like, no. I want to explain this game to you, friend.
No.
Oh, I love that. Like, no, you can't just say that it was 0. Like, I said I would take 0 of that damage.
I attack you for 2. I'll take 0 of that.
I will take 0. I'll take.
Okay. Great. That sounds good. Well, great message, Rob, and a really important reminder.
So let's run through the one. So this set has all evergreen mechanics basically, except for one card has one special word on it. Nicol Bolas the Ravager can transform. He's the only double-faced card in the set.
Sweet.
And we
love you, Nicol.
Yeah, he's a callback to Magic Origins, the last core set that they did.
Yeah.
Now it's just the previous core set, and he's a flip planeswalker. This shows his history when he first transformed into becoming a planeswalker.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because he's not a creature now. He's a planeswalker.
He used to just be a dragon boy, and now he walks the plains.
And he had a pile of enemy dragons. They fought the Elder Dragon Wars, and he killed them.
Wow.
And so that's what this set's about, is the Elder Dragon War.
Okay.
Or one of the things the set's about. So Nicol Bolas the Ravager. He's a 4/4 flyer for red, black, blue, and 1. When Nicol Bolas the Ravager enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Red, black, blue, 4. Exile Nicol Bolas the Ravager, then return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So Nicol Bolas the Ravager lets you send him away and then bring him back transformed. Transformed means on the other side of the card. Mm-hmm. And he exiles and returns, so he'll trigger things that say when a planeswalker enters the battlefield or when a creature you control leaves the battlefield. Mm-hmm. Token copies of him, so let's say that he dies and then you Scarab God him back to make a token copy of him. Mm-hmm. You activate the ability of the token, it will exile, and tokens can't come back from exile, so it's gone forever.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. There's a couple of copy effects in this set, like Mirror Image is an uncommon. So if I have a Nicol Bolas, I cast Mirror Image and I copy my Nicol Bolas, then choose to keep the Mirror Image for some inexplicable reason. And I pay the 7 mana to exile Mirror Image. Mirror Image can't come back transformed, so it doesn't come back. It'll also stay in exile.
Gotcha.
So don't do that.
Don't try to transform copies of the original.
Hot tip.
Basically, it needs to be a double-faced card in order to be able to transform.
Nice.
And he's got a bunch of abilities in the back that are really straightforward. He's like comes with 7 loyalty because why not? +2 to draw 2 cards, -3. Nicobol's the arisen deals 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker.
Wow, why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
-4, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control.
Okay.
And he is an ultimate because why not? -12, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library. So you pull the bottom card off, you take the rest of it and throw it away.
Sure.
Yep.
That seems like a.
Just chuck it.
You get one more chance and then.
Be like, this is gone.
Yeah, you can keep that one.
Keep that bottom land.
Yep. It's your last hope. You knew it was your last hope before, but now it's really your last hope. So card-specific notes. I actually want to talk about all the Elder Dragons.
Elder Dragons!
Because they're so cool.
And
Yes.
wait, did Nicobolus kill all these cards we're going to talk about?
I think that he didn't kill Vevictus Asmati. No, Palladiumors. Palladiumors survived the Elder Dragon.
Okay, so we're talking about all these
We're
dead
talking
dragons.
about all these dead
Yes.
dragons.
All right, just to be clear.
They used to be really
Sad.
bad. They were like 7/7s that you paid 8 mana in 3 different colors for, and then paid 3 mana on your upkeeper, sacrificed them, and they had abilities that didn't do anything.
Oh, I've seen these in Momir Basic.
Yeah, Momir.
These show the dragons show up sometimes.
Yep, you're just like 8 mana, make a 7/7 that.
And then it's like,
I
this
don't
one
have
requires
these
an island on your
colors.
upkeep, and I don't play islands in Momir because I
Yep.
know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and so all right.
Now it's dead.
Yeah, see you later, Arcady Saboth. You have toughness breathing, and I don't know why.
Toughness breathing.
Toughness breathing?
Oh, you haven't looked at the.
We're not calling it. We're not going to call it butt breathing.
No, it doesn't deserve that good of a name.
Can we call it a booty bump?
Like
Butt breathing? Oh my god.
yeah, single white to get +0/+1 till end of turn. This is the original Arcade Sabbath. That's not the current one.
Wow.
Untapped non-attacking creatures you control +0/+2.
Yes, why not?
Okay.
Yeah. If
Why
they have
not?
vigilance, they don't get the bonus. They only get the bonus on
butt
defense.
Breathing, butt breathing,
Yep.
butt breathing.
And that, by the way, those are like you have to pay green, white, blue on your upkeeper, sacrifice him, and he's a 7/7 flyer for blue, blue, white, white, green, green 2.
Wow.
Legends is a beautifully designed set from the perspective of us in the future. It introduced gold cards, which were
I
very
didn't know
exciting.
that.
Everybody was very excited about gold cards existing because they didn't have multicolored cards prior to Legend, and it used 0% of the design space of gold cards. Not a single thing. It got all the excitement without burning a single actual quality card design.
Wow, sick burn.
It's
6 legends burn.
It's like I said, it's a wonderful set, but man. So let's talk about the actual Elder Dragons, though.
Yes.
They're all legendary creature Elder Dragons. Arcade's the strategist is blue, white, green 1 for a 3/5 flying vigilance. Whenever a creature with Defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Each creature you control with Defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power, and can attack as though it didn't have Defender.
Ah, so
Nice.
Arcades still, is that how you say it? Arcades are
Arcades?
still
Arcades?
Arcades?
still likes big butts and
Yeah.
cannot lie.
Yep,
Basically.
he especially likes walls with big butts. Which
Okay.
there's a couple in the set.
It's a strange image,
Yep,
but go on.
yep. A wall of butts probably should have been in Unhinged.
Okay, maybe
I
in the
would play that
future.
card.
Wall of butts.
So the one thing I want to comment on his last ability, if you attack with the creature with the Defender, like there's a wall of mist in this set, and your opponent then kills your dragon, your creature is still attacking.
Is it an O? Is it an O whatever then?
Yeah, it's still it was always an O whatever. It won't change. Like
Oh, yeah,
now,
you're
now
right,
it assigns
you're
0 points of power.
Okay.
But it's still an attacking creature. It doesn't remove it from combat. He only cares. He changes the rules for how you're allowed to declare attackers. Creatures can gain Defender after they're declared as attackers. It doesn't remove them from combat.
Gotcha.
Defender just says you can't pick this as an attacker. But now that it's been picked as an attacker, we're done.
Well, I failed at my job, so
Yep.
never go for it. I guess.
Fight that guy. Chromium the Mutable. Chromium is black, blue, white 4 for a 7/7 flash. This spell can't be countered. Flying. Discard a card. Until end of turn, Chromium the Mutable becomes a human with base power and toughness 1/1, loses all abilities, and gains hexproof. It can't be blocked this turn.
Wow, talk about a control deck finisher. Here you go.
It turns into a 1/1.
I mean, people don't use Netzahal, and Netzahal is similar.
That's true. That's true.
It's
Can't be
been-
countered.
Yeah, it's been in neither can Netzahal.
It sure can be wrathed.
Yeah.
Yeah, this can get killed by Wrath of Gods and Netzahal can't.
Yeah.
It
That's true.
Just walks away from them. So The thing with
Swims?
I don't know.
Something like
it's a
that.
dinosaur. It could do what
away.
it wants. So Chromium has this discard a card, change to a human till end of turn ability. Sometimes your opponent will attack you. You'll block with your 7/7 Chromium. They'll let damage happen, and then they'll cast a spell to try to bounce your Chromium or whatever. You'll be like, I want to gain hexproof. I'm going to discard a card. I'm going to become a 1/1 human. I've got damage marked to me, and I die.
Ah, yes, beware.
No.
This doesn't remove damage that's marked on Chromium. If somehow damage did get managed to get marked on Chromium. So
if you're a fancy flying dragon, remember, if you turn into a human, you're still going to have blood all over your body.
yes. The other thing to note is that he doesn't. Oh,
is the human naked when it
What?
transforms? Do you know what I mean?
Why are you asking that?
I think it's an important question.
You're asking if when Chromium turns into a person,
Yep.
is the person wearing clothes?
Yes.
I think that Chromium is an elder dragon.
So maybe it's just like a chrome person with no genitals, like a Barbie doll.
What? No, I mean that
No.
Chromium is an elder dragon. Of course they can decide to have an outfit on if they want one.
Okay, sure. Anyway, I digress.
anyways. So I'm going to move on to Palladiumors the Ruiner.
Ooh, great.
Name.
Great name.
Palladiumors costs white, green, red 3 for a 6/6 flying vigilance trample. Palladiumors the Ruiner has hexproof if it hasn't dealt damage yet.
Wow.
And note, the big thing to note, it's when Palladiumor says Palladiumors, it means this copy.
Yeah.
So if I play Palladiumors, attack, hit you for 6, doesn't have hexproof, you kill it, and then I reanimate it with the one that's in this set.
Some reanimation card.
Yeah.
Transform to Kobolus. Because Transform to Kobolus can bring back Palladiumors.
Yeah.
Or I recast it as my commander.
Okay.
It's the new Palladiumors is a new Palladiumors and has hexproof until that Palladiumors deals damage.
Gotcha. Each Palladiumors is a unique Palladiumors.
And so when a card refers to itself by name, it means this card.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is handy.
Yep.
Stop being such a Palladiumors.
Vivictus Asmati, the Dire.
Oh, these names are great.
They are.
Green, red, black 3 for a 6/6 flying with a whole lot of words. Whenever Vivictus Asmati the Dire attacks, for each player, choose target permanent that player controls. Those players sacrifice those permanents. Each player who sacrificed a permanent this way reveals the top card of their library, then puts it onto the battlefield if it's a permanent card.
I love this card.
Wow.
Yes. It must kill something for everybody, including you.
Wow.
And it can target lands. So, pro tip, you hit their creatures in your land.
Nice.
Makes sense.
It usually just wrecks one of their permanents, has a pretty good chance of it failing, and might turn your land into something good. You can also manipulate the top card of your library to make this better.
Nice.
I'm just going to do it, and then someone's going to Vivictus me, and I'm going to be like, reveal my own Vivictus.
Okay, so you can attack back and kill theirs?
So then I can name their thing, and you know what I mean?
Well, it's when he attacks.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So Vivictus has to attack in order to get this trigger.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
But then you
I'll attack.
you could take 6 and then get them back and then kill theirs. Seems
Okay,
good.
all right. That's the plan, everybody. FYI.
Wow. Good plan. Solid plan.
So, individual card notes. As a Ponza player, I'm excited about Alpine Moon.
Ugh, did you
course
just say
you
you're
are.
a Ponza
Of course.
player?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Of course you're excited.
We're gonna have to have a
Wow.
chat after
I
this
mean,
episode.
Wow. Wow.
So, Alpine Moon. It's an enchantment for single red. As Alpine Moon enters the battlefield, choose a non-basic land card name. Lands your opponents control with the chosen name lose all land types and abilities, and they gain tap, add 1 mana of any color.
Nice.
So, if the land would enter the battlefield with counters, like a Vivid Grove or a Gemstone Mine, it doesn't get any counters. If the land would enter the battlefield tapped, like Vivid Grove, it enters untapped. If the land does something when it enters the battlefield, like it,
You scry?
yeah, like the temples that say when they enter the battlefield, scry 1, that thing doesn't trigger.
Okay.
It just makes that land into a rainbow land. This is really in the vein of Blood Sun. It's just, you can have your mana, you can't have your other nonsense.
No nonsense.
I wish that's what the rules text on it just said. You can have your mana, just none
Just
of the
no
other
nonsense.
No
Yep.
nonsense.
Note also that you can name the backside of all the transform cards from Ixalan and Rivals of Ixalan. So you can name
Azkanta the Sunken
Yeah,
Ruin.
Azkanta the Sunken Ruin. You can name Azor's whatever, the one that taps for mana equal to your life total.
Wow.
That card's
Deep cut.
crazy good. No, I have a buddy that plays that in his standard control deck.
Wow.
For the control mirrors, because apparently it's insane.
So like the Temple of Aklazotz is one that we've been
Temple of
seeing a lot.
Aklazotz. Yep.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you can name the backside of those cards because those have a name, and that name is a non-basic land card name. So you can use it to get those cards.
Cool. Omniscience is next.
Omniscience?
Sure, whatever.
Every science.
Yep. Do you like science?
Yes.
It's a buffet of science. It costs blue, and 7. It's an enchantment. And it says you may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. So, without paying the mana costs, just takes the stuff up in the upper right-hand corner and replaces it with a 0. So, if you have kicker costs, those are additional costs. Those are on top of the mana cost.
Okay.
There's a couple of cards in the set that says an additional cost, sacrifice a creature. You still have to pay that cost. It's not a mana cost. If you cast a spell with X, like Banefire's in this set, without paying its mana cost, you have to pick 0 for the X.
Rude.
Yep. You don't just get to insta-kill people with fireballs.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I suppose I have to make it a little bit harder than that.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nikola Tesla. Welcome to my buffet of science.
Ooh, I'll take 3 test tubes and
An Erlenmeyer flask. We're having a special on them.
I'll have
Great,
an Erlenmeyer
great,
flask.
great.
And can you put some DNA sauce right on the top?
On your flask?
Sure.
Forget I said that. That sounds terrible.
Okay.
It really does. It really does.
Never mind.
Anyways.
Okay. So, Brawl Bash Ogre. Ooh. Brawl Bash Ogre, red, black 2 for a 3/3. It has Menace, which says this creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. This is an example of that reminder text. You don't get this in a normal set. No, you do. Whenever Brawl Bash Ogre attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, Brawl Bash Ogre gets +2/+2 until end of turn.
So this is super interesting because a lot of times, like Thallid Omnivore, you can make the choice whenever you want.
Yep, it's an activated ability. This is a trigger whenever it attacks. One other thing to note with Brawl Bash Ogre is you attack, trigger goes in the stack, you get your opponent the chance to respond. Do whatever you want, opponent. Opponent doesn't do anything. It goes to you. You choose a creature to sacrifice. At that point, your opponent can't stop you from sacrificing that creature. They say, whoa, 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 whoa. Now that you picked that dude, I want to kill it. You're like, no. I've already sacrificed it to this ogre. It's getting +2/+2.
Okay.
They can't respond in the middle of things resolving.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Chaos Wand. It's a 3-cost artifact. 4 and tap. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of that library in a random order. So, spin up a random instant or sorcery. You can do this at instant speed. You can respond to their spells and hope to hit a counterspell.
Wow. Wow.
But it is use it or lose it. The time that you activate it, you get 1 chance to cast that thing for free, and if you decide not to, it gets shuffled away into the bottom with the other cards.
All right.
Which is why it says the cards that weren't cast.
I really like the art on this card as well.
Yeah.
Very
Who's
pretty.
this? This is Carrie Christensen? I don't know that artist. Interesting.
Chaos Wand.
Yeah. Izareth the Awakener. Black 1 for a legendary creature human wizard is a 3/3. Izareth has Death Touch, and whenever Izareth the Awakener attacks, you may pay X. When you do, return target creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield with a corpse counter on it. If that creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Corpse counter doesn't mean anything.
It just reminds you it's a corpse.
Yep.
This was dead once.
Yeah, I brought this back and it's rotting and pustulent, which means that when you kill it, it'll stay dead now. There are things that will remove counters. You can remove the corpse counter. It'll still stay dead. You just won't remember it.
Wait, really?
Yep, the corpse counter doesn't have anything to do with it. It doesn't say as long as that creature has a corpse counter on it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The corpse counter is literally just there to remind you that this is going to get exiled.
Okay. So you can take it out, but all you're doing is hosing yourself at remembering where this is going to go.
Yep, exactly.
Interesting. Okay, I wouldn't have thought that.
Also, I always thought that this lady just has like a vulture on her head. Is that really what's going on?
Maybe that's like her hair.
I can't tell.
Let's try and get a closer look at Izareth the Awakener. Izareth? Yeah, Izareth.
Yeah.
Legendary creature as well.
Yeah.
I can't
This is
tell
low
what
resolution.
that is.
This isn't.
Maybe they're not
Enhance.
Yeah, now I have to look at the Wizards card image gallery.
You're not going to get any bigger than that.
No, because the other cards are all higher quality on. I think they're taken from the card image gallery. Like if you look at Graveyard Marshal here arbitrarily, I guess that one's pretty low res too.
We're looking at Scryfall, by the way, which you should go check out if you ever need to find Magic cards quickly. They have excellent search features.
Yes.
And they work over time when the sets get released to give you high-res images of all of the beautiful art in the set. So.
Yeah, Scryfall tends to go pull all the images from the card image gallery, which are high resolution, as soon as it's available.
Okay.
Which is why I thought I'd get it in higher resolution, but apparently not. So.
Well, we'll never know.
Yep. So. That's Messenger. That's not what I need. All right. Liliana's Contract. Black 3 for an enchantment. When Liliana's Contract enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and you lose 4 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game.
I love it.
And you can't just rename the demons arbitrarily.
Yeah.
Like they're all named Gristlebrand, but you're like, I'm naming this one Steve and this one.
Yeah, even the generic token that gets made from Rite of Belzenlock.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's named, demon.
This is Paul.
Yeah.
This
you
one's
can make as
named-
many of
This
those
is
as you
Paul.
want. Yeah.
He's a 6/6 demon.
Yeah.
I'm naming this one Nacho Party.
Nacho Party. That sounds like an exciting party. I'd like to come to your
I would
parties.
love to go
I
to
was
Nacho
just Google
Party.
searching Izareth the Awakener to try and find an image, and Google was like, "Did you mean Jareth the Awakener?" I was like,
I remember when
No.
a card named Jareth came out.
Jareth, Leon, and Titan.
"Oh my God! It is a vulture on her head.
Wow.
Look, she just has a vulture literally just like perched on her head.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's-
It really is."
Is it
If
like
you-
on her bun?
Yeah, I can't tell. I can't tell that much, but
If you've got a vulture on your head, you are not to be messed with.
yeah, I think it looks like it's like perching kind of like on her hair.
But the Liliana's contract card I
Yeah.
really like because it's very flavorful with
Yeah.
the story of Liliana making her contract with all these demons.
And
So
then
it's
she
pretty
goes
cool.
and collects their heads.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
So the thing with Liliana's Contract is it has what is known as an intervening if triggered ability. It triggers at the beginning of your upkeep if the condition is true. It doesn't trigger every upkeep. It only triggers if at the start of your upkeep, before your upkeep starts, you have 4 demons with different names. So you can't have 3 demons with different names and respond by flashing in a demon and say, surprise, gotcha, and then get your opponent there.
Okay.
Gotcha.
One thing to note, there is a way to do this reasonably easily in Standard right now. Arcane Adaptation allows you to change all of your creatures to be type demon.
Demons?
Yes.
And they'll have different names if they're different creatures.
If you have 4 creatures with different names, they're all demons, then Liliana's Contract gets you
I
there.
feel like you're using the term reasonably easily a little too loosely.
It only costs 3 mana. You just have
We're
to play
talking about
2 enchantments.
We're talking about a 2-card combo / 4 creatures also.
Yeah, but like you just play random dudes. You play like you're, whatever.
And none of them can die.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Rob dreams big, everybody.
You play some indestructible dudes. and,
Okay,
like,
okay.
you're not like if you're playing to actually win in Standard, you play Goblin Chain Whirler or the Scarab God,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
I actually wound up playing against Rob online randomly, and it was very funny because I'm just like playing this like derpy little deck, and you're playing like mono 6-drops, including Combustible Gear Hulk, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, of course
Yes.
you are. And you beat the tar out of me, so I guess what can I say?
well, that deck got fired. I was trying out different things with the RPT cube, and it's similar to the Haphazard Bombardment deck. If you saw that from Copenhagen,
Yeah, the one that has Hour of Promise, Hour of Devastation.
yeah, and
is that the
Hour
one
of
I
Promise
think?
and Hour of Devastation, and it
No,
had
it's not.
it had both of those, and
Okay.
it had it had a Star of Extinction in there as well.
Wow.
Wow.
Like that, and it went
10-5
at Copenhagen.
Nice.
Oh, we're gonna have to look this up.
Yeah, we are.
It's featured on the Wizards website, and
Okay.
it looks I gotta tell you, Star of Extinction made me angry a lot when I was testing out that library, and I actually had been evolving to a similar place, but playing Combustible Gear Hulk and a bunch of Aftermath cards, and that's the deck that I was playing against you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Zach Elzik was playing another similar deck that instead of using Gear Hulk was using Sifter Worm.
Yes, that's the one
that
we
was here
saw.
this weekend. It lost
Yeah.
playing for top 8 at Nationals.
Okay.
And the Brew Crew played it last week on the Team Standard Super League.
Yeah.
But that one has all of the Aftermath cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was playing it with Gear Hulk specifically because oftentimes I'd go Gear Hulk and they'd go, yeah, I'll take that damage. And I'd go 19, you dead. They're like, oh, what?
Well,
all right. You revealed how many spells? 2.
yeah. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty hilarious. So moving on to the next card, though, digressing from standard.
Yes.
Runic Armasaur. Runic Armasaur is green 1 for a dinosaur, 2/5. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or a land that isn't a mana ability, you may draw a card. Mana abilities are things that make mana. So if they tap their mountain for mana, that's a mana ability. If they activate the ability of whatever the back half of Conqueror's Galleon is to draw a card, that's not a mana ability. It costs mana, it didn't make mana.
Right, like Llanowar
if they use
makes mana.
If they use a Azcanta.
Azcanta the Sunken Ruin to look at 4 cards, you get to draw a card.
You get to draw a card.
As a consolation prize for them getting to pick
for them having that. That's true.
Yes.
You're already in trouble.
Yeah.
But you get the consolation prize of drawing a card.
Yep. Psychic Symbiont.
Wow, some Star Trek stuff in here.
Yeah. Black-blue 4 for a 3/3 Nightmare Horror with flying. When Psychic Symbiont enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card and you draw a card.
Nice.
Note that they don't have to discard. If they have no cards in hand, they don't do anything and you still draw a card.
Gotcha.
So it isn't, they discard a card, and if they do, nope, Psychic Symbiont doesn't care. Still draws you a card.
Skyrider Patrol. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, I'm flying it on a manta ray?
Yeah, it's great.
Sky Manta?
And it hands out Sky Mantas to its friends.
Cool.
Blue-green 2 for a Elf Scout with flying. It's a 2/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay green-blue. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control, and that creature gains flying until end of turn.
This card seems sick.
I love this card.
Card is super sweet. It has a class of trigger that you probably have never heard of before called a reflexive trigger.
I haven't.
It was on 1 card in Amonkhet. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay blue-green. When you do, so that's a separate trigger. So it's a trigger that then you pay a thing and then it generates a second trigger. This is very unusual and solves the throwing dagger problem, which is that nobody knows how the card works and it blows people out all the time. And so it makes it behave like you'd think it would, in that if you somehow stop them from paying the mana, they don't get the other half of the ability, and you get to know whether or not they pay the mana before they decide what to target.
Gotcha.
So this is 2 triggers, is what it basically is.
So they can be like, okay, it's the beginning of combat on my turn. I pay green-blue, and I'm targeting this. And you can be like, I'll kill the thing.
No. They choose to pay green-blue.
Yes.
Then after they do, they target a thing.
Okay.
So they're locked into paying it.
Okay.
If it was all 1 trigger, then they'd target the thing, and then you could kill it, and then they wouldn't pay it.
They don't have to pay it.
That's what I'm saying, though. They pay it.
Yes.
And they're like, this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Just
And
like
you're like, kill it, and it's like, okay, well, you just
they paid it.
You already paid it.
Yep.
All right.
Because it's a trigger that you pay for to make another trigger. Yep.
All right, awesome.
Nice.
There's a lot, that's basically what I have. There's not a lot of complicated stuff in this set.
Omen Speaker is back.
Yeah, Scribe 2.
I love
Omen
Omen
Speaker is
Speaker.
so good.
What a card.
Yeah.
If you've never played with Omen Speaker before, get ready.
Yeah.
Do you like blocking? Because, man, your deck's going to get to block
Omen Speaker loves blocking.
Yep. There's all sorts of cards that do straightforward things. You just have to read them, essentially. And it actually, especially due to the reminder text, they explain equipping, they explain flying. They spell out all the things that happen on a lot of these cards. There's a lot of vanilla creatures. The set is very, very straightforward. It's what I really want a Platonic core set to look like. M10 and M12 are some of my favorite sets of all time. And the cards are straightforward, read them. If you don't understand them, ask, call for a judge. There'll be somebody helping out your pre-release. They'll be able to help you out. You shouldn't need a lot of it. The trick is going to be figuring out how to evaluate how to build an interesting and useful deck out of these, rather than what do my cards do.
Nice. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Are you all excited?
Oh, yes.
I'm very excited.
Me
Any
too.
new Magic set, even if it's a core set, which is usually simpler, and even if there's a bunch of reprints, I'm super excited to play with because it's never going to be the same as any other set.
Oh, there's a common dragon in this set?
Ooh.
Man. Dragons of Tarkir, you missed out. It got blown out. Do you remember this?
I remember people were like, there's not even a common dragon.
Well, because they put the common dragon in Fate Reforged.
Oh, yeah.
And then they went to Dragons of Tarkir and were like, oh, we use that shtick. Why did we do that? We have a set that's about dragons.
About dragons.
And we put the common dragon.
I know. I wanted a common dragon so bad in that set. I wanted a baby dragon is what I kept asking for.
Right. Well, except that in the lore in the set, there are no baby dragons.
Yeah.
They spring full forged from the energy storms cast by Ugin as he flies around the world.
Oh. Okay.
Sure. I mean, it's pretty sweet. I mean, that's a pretty sick way to make more dragons. Or at least that's how we explain to our kids that dragons are made. How are dragons made? All right, well, there's this giant dragon, and he flies around the world a bunch of times, creates an electrical storm, and dragons just emerge full formed.
Yep. That's what the card Dragon Tempest is.
Questions here from listeners for you, Judge Rob. Hans wants to know, how does fraying omnipotence work in Two-Headed Giant? Do both players lose their entire life total?
So fraying omnipotence, black 3, sorcery. Each player loses half their life, then discards half the cards in their hand, then sacrifices half the creatures they control. Round up each time. This kills both teams.
Okay, so probably don't do this.
Because like you and I would be on a team and our opponents will cast fraying omnipotence and they'll go, Rob, lose half your life, round it up. Oh wait, no. Oh, is this iterative? No, it's all at the same time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all at the same time. Each player loses all their life at the same time. And so let's go, you lose half your life, you lose half your life. All right, we both lost half our life and we go to 0 or -1, depending. And then the other team does the same thing.
Okay.
Because it's each player, so it's symmetrical.
Okay.
This card is less valuable than you want it to be.
Yeah, right. They always are, these ones. We've got a question here from Nick. How does the creature Isareth puts a corpse counter interact with Restoration Angel? So this is the card we were talking about before.
Yeah, it's Isareth. So we're looking at Restoration Angel.
This is one of the more famous angels from Magic's history.
Yeah, it's a flicker effect, basically. So flash flying, when Restoration Angel enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-angel creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. So I play Isareth, I reanimate, I attack, I reanimate some random thing, I Restoration Angel to flicker it. Isareth says, if that creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Restoration Angel sends it to exile. Isareth doesn't care. Isareth says, yeah, it's going there anyways, I'm good. And then Restoration says, bring it back to the battlefield. And it comes back and it's a totally new object. It's like, look, I was dead. I used to be a rotting corpse and now I'm not.
The Restoration Angel restored me to
that's
full
pretty
health.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, there's several people on Facebook asking, why is it called M19 when we're in 2018?
So it's actually you can blame Walmart and Target and other big box stores for this. So let's say that it was called M18.
Yeah.
That it came out this year. It's called M18. January happens. Well, the next core set doesn't come out until next summer.
Yeah.
So January happens. It's now the year 2019. We have a set called Magic 2018. Target goes,
I don't want this.
Yeah, we're not going to stop that.
I'm not going to buy that.
Yeah.
All right.
And so just the timing works out where you have to name it for the following year so that you can keep it on shelves at big box stores.
I'm going to name it Magic 2035, so it'll be good for a long time.
I mean, they could just, instead of numbering it, they could just call it,
This year's core set, buddies.
Well, no. They just give it. They just give it a name. Magic : something simple, like Magic Origins, right?
Yeah.
I wish Magic : something simple.
Yeah, that's the description of the set too.
Would
right?
also be it.
Right.
Okay.
But Magic Origins or Magic Travels from Ravnica or it's something like this, like very, very simple that says this is a
Magic,
basic
remembering
set.
the time the dragons fought.
Yep.
Yeah.
Magic. These dragons are dead now.
Magic. Let's talk about dead dragons.
Okay, here's a question for you involving Inferno Hellion. If Inferno Hellion dies in combat, does it go to the graveyard or is it shuffled back into your deck since it attacked or blocked that turn?
So Inferno Hellion, it's a creature, Hellion, red and 3 for a 7/3 with trample. At the beginning of each end step, if Inferno Hellion attacked or blocked this turn, its owner shuffles it into their library. So When a card refers to itself by name, it means this thing, right? When it goes to the graveyard, it's a totally different object, actually, from the way the rules work. So it's a different Inferno Hellion from the one that was on the battlefield. If a trigger cared about the thing in the graveyard, it could track it, but this doesn't. It only means if it's on the battlefield. It'll get shuffled away.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's some questions about Alpine Moon and the Tron lands. A couple different people want to know about this.
Oh, yeah.
How does it interact with the Urza lands? Do they look for each other by name or by types, since Alpine Moon removes types but doesn't change the name?
So Alpine Moon does nuke the land type, which is what the Urza lands look for, is the short answer.
All right. So no, they will not recognize.
Yep, they will get broken up and they will forget.
The band's not together anymore.
Yep.
Okay.
You changed Urza's Tower.
Why isn't Nahiri in here? I thought this was a core set. All right, Tony.
What about this? If the opponent plays Liliana's Contract and then doesn't play any demons, I don't think you need to search. This is a flavor question.
Yep.
Do you win the moral victory regardless of who wins the game?
Well, no, because a game isn't necessarily the entire life of the Planeswalker. They signed a contract, and then they're like, once we're done with this game, I'm going to go hunt up some demons.
Oh, okay.
Well, later on.
Yeah. I've got a to-do list. Kill yous first.
Sean asks, do the chickens have large talons? I don't know what that means.
Great question.
Talons of Wildwood?
I don't know what this
you know
question
what?
means.
I'm just going to
Sean.
go ahead and say yes, Sean. The
Yes,
chickens
they do.
have
The chickens do have large talons. Dylan asks, why is Surgemare not a seahorse?
I
can't
agree
answer
with
that
that.
question.
I agree. I thought it should have been a
That's-
seahorse.
That is a good question. Well, sea isn't a creature type. So they got Elemental Horse, they got Nightmare Horse, they got just regular horse.
So it'd have to be like jellyfish horse.
I would accept jellyfish horse in like
That's
a
what
pinch.
I mean, it's a horse fish.
I mean, that's very close.
Which is a seahorse.
Yeah,
horse
right.
fish.
They're
A
close
horse
enough.
fish.
I would watch the Kentucky Derby if it was a bunch of seahorses. Wouldn't
Same.
you?
It would take forever though. They're so tiny.
It'd just be like
They're so tiny as
I
compared
mean, it's the same type as breaching hippocamp, right?
Yes.
Which is
Also a seahorse, basically.
yeah, well, yeah.
Tyler asks, Judge Rob, if you were a card from the new set, which one would you be?
Wow, great question. Suspicious
Actually,
bookcase.
I kind of want to say suspicious bookcase. Actually, that card is
That card is excellent.
that card is hilarious and amazing. Let's sort this by something sensible. I might be a Johnny Wise counselor, actually.
Oh.
Well, you are a wise counselor for the show,
Yeah.
so it makes sense.
You are. Isn't that nice?
There's also a Johnny's Welcome, which is arguably the best flavor text in the set.
Oh yeah, read it.
You cannot defend others if your own well-being is neglected.
Self-care, everybody.
Yes.
Johnny recommends it.
Yep. This giant world-hopping cat with only one eye wants you to believe that you take care of yourself.
Awesome.
Great description of a Johnny. Who's a Johnny? Well, a giant world-hopping one-eyed cat. Anyways.
That's all the questions that I have from the
I was going
humans.
to try and look up ones on Discord.
I looked up a couple.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you have more questions for Rob or we didn't get to your
Yeah.
question, just when this video is released on YouTube on Thursday, go into the comments and Rob will come by and visit.
Yep, I swing by a couple times on Thursday and then like Friday and then maybe once over the weekend, depending on when I have time.
Yeah, and so Rob, he's here. He's
Yeah.
a resource. Let's use
Yeah.
him. All right, awesome. I think
it.
the set looks cool.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
Who is great?
Ultra Pro.
Do you know what? We were just talking to them, and they were like, we have so much sweet new M19 stuff coming down the pipeline.
I know.
Get ready.
I'm excited. We're going to get a shipment and we're going to
Yeah.
be able to show some of it off to you
Yes.
next episode and do some giveaways.
Woo!
So follow our stream on twitch.tv/magicthematurine where we do a lot of giveaways.
Yes.
And you can get in on that action. You can also enter our Gleam giveaway, which we do once a month. And we're going to be drawing for that quickly at the end of the show. And we put Ultra Pro stuff in there because it's so cool.
Yes.
And if you want to own some of it, you can even buy it at Card Kingdom. cardkingdom.com/MTAcast and pick up some Ultra Pro gear.
Get thee there and get that gear.
now it's time for the most important segment regarding M19, and that is Cutest Card, Grossest Card of the set. We need to crown them as we always do.
Grossest Card. Nightmare's Thirst.
Ew, this card is really, really creepy.
It's so creepy, which is why it gets the nod. There may be some technically grosser cards, but this buddy is just, we've got the, no.
You don't want to see a close up
with
of
like
that?
red
I'm
hair
out.
sucking the soul out of somebody sleeping.
Oh, I don't think that's hair. I think that's like backblast for him sucking the soul out.
Yeah, they're like,
okay.
It's so aggressively sucking the soul.
Oh, yuck. I love it.
It's like when you go to drink. It's like when you go to drink something and you spill it all over yourself because you need the water so bad. That's what's happening.
That's what it's doing.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's really nice chiaroscuro artwork here.
Yeah, I think it's
very, very well
very
painted
like
also.
horror movie-esque.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Getting its nod for classic horror. All right.
All right, Cutest Card. This one was, kind of easy for me. It just was a gut feeling. Sometimes you just know. I'm going to give runners up to Chromium the Mutable for being a pretty cute dragon.
Yeah, Chromium's pretty cute.
And a runner up to Bog Stomper.
How dare you?
Which is pretty cute, but it's not cute enough. It is another green card, however, that does get the crown for M19, and that is Runic Armasaur.
Runic Armasaur is pretty cute.
Just a chubby little Stegosaurus shaking its chubby little butt.
With tattooed spines.
Oh, yeah, they are tattooed.
That's how you get the runes to make them magical.
Nice. Probably lives in Minneapolis or Portland. Runic Armasaur, you're adorable, and I want you to be my friend. You are Cutest Card. Congratulations.
I still feel a little bit like rioting that it's not Bog Stomper, but.
I mean, it was close. It was close.
I'm surprised that Bog Stomper isn't a crocodile.
What is it?
It's just a beast.
Oh, okay.
It's a little beastie.
Like crocodile, they could put crocodile beast on a card. It's fine.
Yeah.
And like they put crocodile on cards where it's 100% inappropriate.
This crocodile labeling is inappropriate.
Oh no! I'm gonna ask you a trick question. What type of creature is water alligator?
I'm going to go with alligator.
Crocodile.
Yeah, it's totally a crocodile.
Creature crocodile. Well,
you're right.
That's hurtful.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Someone made some bad decisions.
Well, it's printed as an alligator, and then in the grand creature type up, they said we don't want to support alligator for one card. Alligator, you're fired. You're a crocodile now. And I'm like,
wow.
Wait, what?
Wow. And real water
see,
alligator is like,
the printed card says alligator.
You're right.
The oracle type is crocodile.
Wow.
Well, everybody, that's this episode. Big thanks, as always, to Judge Rob for coming on and enlightening us in the ways of M19.
Yeah.
And our winner for our Gleam giveaway for the month of June is none other than Jason Frost from Australia.
Ooh, congrats, Jason.
You're going to get a shipment of sweet swag thanks to Ultra Pro, Card Kingdom, and us here at MTA Cast Labs.
That's right. Thank you all so much for watching this week, / listening this week, / just doing your thing this week.
Smelling this week. We do broadcast via Smell-O-Vision occasionally.
Yes,
so
we do.
thank you for that.
Whatever you caught a whiff of, it was definitely.
It was definitely
Wow, we're
us.
going to be taking responsibility for some weird smells.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Thanks to everybody who supports us on patreon.com/MTAcast. And once again to our sponsors, Card Kingdom and Ultra Pro. And Rob, thanks for hanging out. And people, if you've got questions, go to YouTube and put them in the comments section. And Rob will be in there on Thursday and Friday to check that out. Go to your pre-release, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.